They say every era of tennis is defined by the young stars bold enough to rewrite it. And as the 2025 season unfolds, the women's game is entering a renaissance driven by a new wave of fearless talent. These are not future champions in waiting. These are players already shaping the tour, already shifting the balance of power, already inspiring the next generation with every booming serve and breathtaking rally. Today on Aces Uncovered, we bring you the story of 5 young women whose rise has captured the attention of fans, analysts, and legends alike. And before we dive into their journeys, make sure you subscribe to Aces Uncovered for more deep-dive stories, profiles, and the narratives shaping modern tennis. Now let's dive in. At number 5 stands Leylah Fernandez, the fiery left-hander from Montreal, Canada, whose game feels like a spark set loose in a gust of wind, restless, unpredictable, and dazzlingly alive. Born in 2002, Leylah has woven her reputation from grit and heart as much as from technique, and anyone who watched her meteoric run to the 2021 U.S. Open final saw a teenager who carried the weight of a nation on her shoulders with astonishing poise. Her small stature hides a game built on speed, precision, and unrelenting spirit. She chases down balls others wouldn't consider reachable, turns impossible positions into attack, and battles with the kind of competitive fire that forces even the most seasoned opponents out of rhythm. With multiple titles and a resume that already includes victories over top-ranked stars, Leylah is still evolving, still sharpening her weapons, still growing into a future where she could very easily lift a Grand Slam trophy of her own. Fourth on this list is Linda Noskova, the Czech powerhouse born in 2004, who has carved her path on tour with the force of a rising storm. If Fernandez brings finesse and heart, Noskova brings raw electricity, pounding ground strokes, a thundering serve, and a baseline presence that makes the court seem smaller for her opponents. She burst into the top 25 before her 20th birthday, taking down top 10 opponents with fearless aggression and announcing herself as one of the most dangerous young competitors on the WTA circuit. What makes Linda particularly compelling is not just the strength in her shots, but the strength in her temperament. She is unshaken in big moments, unfazed by reputations, and deeply aware of her own potential. With her power, poise, and relentless hunger for improvement, Noskova stands as one of the brightest pillars of the Czech Republic's storied tennis tradition. In the third position sits Iga Swiatek, the player who has already transcended the category of young talent and entered the realm of active legend. Born in 2001, Iga became a Grand Slam champion before turning 20, and she has since risen to and maintained the world #1 ranking with a dominance rarely seen in the modern era. Her game is a symphony of precision and brutality, heavy topspin forehands that leap off the clay, razor-sharp movement, and a mental discipline forged from years of strategic study and emotional intelligence. Swiatek is the anchor of this generation, the standard setter, the mountain everyone else must climb. With more than 20 titles already in her collection and multiple majors to her name, her youth feels almost paradoxical. She is part of the next generation by age, but she plays with the authority of someone already shaping tennis history. In second place comes Mira Andreeva, the prodigy born in 2007 who has stunned the tennis world with a maturity and tactical sophistication far beyond her years. Mira plays the game like a seasoned strategist, studying angles, changing pace, absorbing pace, and injecting unpredictability exactly when her opponent least expects it. She reached the second week of Grand Slams before even turning 18, defeating marquee names with the calm of a player twice her age. What sets Andreeva apart is her feel for the game, the effortless balance between variety and consistency, the way she can switch from defense to offense without any visible shift in rhythm, the way she seems to understand the geometry of the court intuitively. Many call her a future multi-slam champion, But watching her play, the future feels much closer than anyone anticipated. At number 1, leading this next generation into a new era, is Coco Gauff, America's brightest tennis star and one of the most influential young athletes in the world today. Born in 2004, Coco captured the world's imagination at just 15 by defeating Venus Williams at Wimbledon, and she has only grown more formidable since. With a US Open title, a French Open title, and a career already filled with iconic matches, Coco plays with a rare synthesis of power, agility, and intellect. Her serve is one of the most explosive weapons in women's tennis, her backhand a precision instrument, and her defensive coverage almost unfair in its elasticity. But beyond the athleticism lies a mind sharpened by maturity, an emotional balance that allows her to rise in pressure moments rather than shrink from them. Gauff is no longer a rising star. She is a defining star, one whose future burns bright enough to illuminate the pathway for those who follow. As the 2025 season unfolds, these 5 young women, Fernandez, Noskova, Swiatek, Andreeva, and Gauff, are not simply participating in a new chapter of tennis. They are writing it in real time. Each brings her own identity, her own fire, her own interpretation of what the sport can be. Together, they form a generation that refuses to wait for greatness and insists on seizing it now. And if you want to follow every story, every rise, every rivalry, make sure you subscribe to Aces Uncovered, where the journey of the next generation continues with every serve, every swing, and every step toward history.